Hi, Chef Mark here from Mark's Easy Kitchen. Today I'm preparing one of my favorite desserts, rice pudding. Rice pudding is not only delicious, it's very easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's go over our ingredients. I'll be using 1 full cup of 2% milk. I'll be using some raisins, a few drops of vanilla, 1 whole egg, half a cup of rice, and 1/4 cup of sugar. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to soak my raisins with hot water. I'll just let them sit for maybe 20 minutes or so while my rice is cooking. That'll soften them up. And then I'll drain them off. Now I'm going to take a pot and put in a half a cup of rice and twice as much water, which would be 1 full cup of water. And I'll put that on the stove with a pinch of salt and let it cook, like I said, for about 20 minutes or so. Okay, so like I said, my rice is on the stove, it's cooked. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my milk. I'm going to slowly add the milk to my rice pudding. Okay, that's important because what I want to do is get the milk nice and hot. So I'll get the milk nice and hot just by adding to the rice pudding and slowly stirring it. One thing you don't want to do is let the rice burn, and you don't want to scorch the milk. So you want to keep on stirring. Either use a whisk or a spatula. One or the other works fine. So like I said, just keep stirring on a low heat. At this point, you really have to babysit it, okay? And that's not really a big deal. And then I'm going to add maybe a couple of drops of vanilla just to give it some flavor. 2 or 3 drops, not a whole lot. Now when I added the milk, what I did was I added most of the milk, but I held back maybe a tablespoon or 2. And I'm going to add that to my egg. And when I whisk my egg, I'll whisk the egg and that little bit of milk together. And it just makes the egg a lot more creamier, easier to blend in with my rice pudding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk my egg up really good. And I'm going to add that to my rice pudding now. But when I add it, I want to make sure that I add it slowly and keep on stirring. That's very important. And keep it on low heat as well. So just keep on stirring. Just stir, stir, stir. And you'll see it'll gradually start to thicken. Now rice is a natural starch anyway, so it's already starting to thicken, but adding the egg will really make it thicken, and it'll really make it set very nice. Okay, so there I go. I'm just adding everything there. I'm going to add my sugar. And at some point here, I'll add my raisins. I'll probably add my raisins right at the very last, okay? Because you don't want them to get in there too long because they've already been soaking in hot water, so they've already plumped up very nice. So you can see that the pudding is getting thicker all the time, okay? Okay, so anyways, I think we're ready to take it off the stove. So, there we go. I got a spoon here. Just going to stir that around. Now, take some of that, put it in there. Now, going to have a little garnish here of cinnamon, not too much. Nutmeg works good too, either or, whatever you prefer. Okay, so there it is. Doesn't that look good? Turned out very well. I'm very happy with that. It's excellent. Okay, so I can have a little taste here. Very creamy. You know, I like rice pudding either hot or cold, doesn't matter. You know, that is really creamy. The egg really makes a difference. It's really good. Wow. You can taste the vanilla. You can taste the sugar. It's very good. Right amount of sugar, right amount of everything. That's a very good dessert. And very easy to make. Like I said, one of my favorites. Well, there it is, my friends. Rice pudding made easy. I'm Mark, Chef Mark from Mark's Easy Kitchen. Until we eat again, cheers, my friends.
Wow.
Hi, me again. You know, I worked as a cook in healthcare for 36 years in 2 different facilities run by the same company. And during that time, I probably made rice pudding on an average of twice a month. And the rice pudding that I made then is the same rice pudding that I made today, simply because I think the rice pudding I made today is the best. Now, I use 2% milk today, but you can use any kind of milk you want. You can use whole milk, lactose-free milk, almond milk, whatever you like. I also added an egg to my rice pudding. Really all you need to make rice pudding is rice, a sweetener, and some milk. Rice has a starch of its own, so it will automatically thicken on its own, but I like to add an egg because it makes it creamier, gives it some body, adds flavor, and binds the whole thing together. I also added raisins. Not everybody adds raisins to the rice pudding, but adding raisins I think makes it more interesting. You can add cranberries, you can add pineapple tidbits, crushed pineapple. Just make sure you drain off the canned pineapple before you use it. Now another thing I used to add was mini marshmallows. Kids love mini marshmallows. Well, who am I kidding? I like them too. But make sure your rice pudding is cooled down before you add them, otherwise they'll just disappear on you. Now let's talk about garnishes. Now what I used to do was just simply garnish my rice pudding with a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. That's what I did today. You can buy some the canned whipping cream or get some fresh whipping cream and put a little rosette of whipping cream on your rice pudding and add some maybe nutmeg or cinnamon to that. I used to, my go-to when I was working was rice pudding with a little bit of whipping cream on top and some toasted coconut. I used that for years. It was very attractive, very appealing, and it tasted excellent. Another thing is you can use a couple of slices of fresh strawberries or a mint leaf. Strawberries and mint leaf actually go together very well. They look good together because of the contrasting colors, and they taste very good as well. Okay, so there's lots of options out there. You know, you're the cook, you're the chef. Be the mad scientist in your own kitchen that you always want to be. But in the meantime, have fun, keep on cooking, eat healthy, and bon appetit, my friends. Bye now.